recording. So me and Nick have been doing these pretty much every Sunday or just about Sunday or Monday, whatever, for the last literally like 3.5 years now. So we pretty much just we hop on, go through all of our analysis for the week. We see some familiar faces on here, but there's always some new people on here. So we welcome you guys to the call. We'll pretty much just be doing our analysis based on the swing trading strategy that me and Nick have both kind of been using for the last couple of years. So we'll keep it up on the higher time frames. Really do encourage you guys to look at this analysis. And if you guys need some feedback on maybe you're doing your own analysis, you don't know whether it's good or not, you guys are really beginner, use this to compare. If you're more experienced, I mean, look at what Nick and myself's ideas are. Maybe you get something of value to it, or I even encourage you to drop in the chat, if you guys have any of your own charts or anything like that, and we can kind of discuss them. And yeah, we'll give out a signal if we see it. I think every week we give out kind of at least one signal on the session. Then other than that, we're just doing a bit of forecasting. So I'm gonna leave it with Nick. He's gonna get started, and then I'm gonna finish it off. And just to answer your question, Christian, we are recording these, and Nick also posts his analysis in the Discord and the Telegram Forex League. So if you guys want to catch the analysis afterwards in there, just take a look.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get it started. So yeah, guys, there's some utility to these analyses, whichever, level of trading you're at. If you want to just get, a trader's perspective or see how these analyses are playing out, compare it to your own, like Angelo said, there's definitely some value there. So let's get into it. I'm going to kind of run you guys through my method, how I'm pretty much approaching the charts, and all the way down to, certain setups and finding, trades. So I start on the daily time frame. I'm a swing trader, so I really like to just assess the overall trend on the daily. And that's really all we need. And then I'm going to drop to the 4-hour and give you guys both a bullish scenario and a bearish scenario. Okay, so this is DXY. We don't actually trade this, but we like to mark it up because it's the dollar, right? The dollar influences a lot of the market, makes up for 80% of all trade. It's a safe haven currency. We've been seeing tons of reaction in the dollar lately, so it's good to be aware of it, right? If this thing is moving with a lot of volume, it's definitely rippling on some of the other pairs. You're seeing those reactions, so it's good to analyze this, be aware of the trends. So daily time frame, very bullish as we can see, right? Strong characteristics of a bullish trend: higher highs, higher lows, breaks of resistance, higher lows above, testing as new support, and so on and so on. So very clearly this is bullish. There is something going on here, so let's go to the 4-hour with this information and see what we could spot here. Okay, so we are still bullish, or we were bullish pretty heavily all the way up to this point. We hit 109.3 just in that area, and then we reversed from there. We broke this minor level, 107.6, and this higher low. So it's looking more bearish on the 4-hour now, right? Price action's pushing lower. We got a lower low, some rejection, nice lower high. Assuming this continues with this trend, we'll continue to get lower lows and lower highs. So this is the most likely scenario, right? We're just following what price action is showing us. I'm not trying to predict anything, a turn bearish. I'm now looking for, the next break of support and then continuous structure down. Okay, so this is very likely that the dollar will kind of continue to slip. Maybe we'll hit 105. That's definitely our next area to target. Now, for us to look at this chart and say, oh, very clearly the dollar is more bullish, right? It's showing large bullish candles. We're breaking resistance. We need to see structure above a level we just broke, right? So we just moved through this, and then this was considered bearish. So to consider it bullish, it makes sense we have to move back above that level, right? So price action could bounce for a while, but until this zone is broken, then we're back to bullish, okay? So these are the two scenarios. And again, I'm not, predicting price action. I'm just showing what the cleanest price action would be for us to, kind of, get into certain scenarios. And this would be the cleanest, most clear for us to kind of digest and then make decisions based on. Okay, so that's DXY. Let's move over to our first tradable pair, AU. And we're going to do the same thing, same process we just did on DXY. This actually should be extended. Okay, so this is also very bearish. Could clean this up a little bit, but honestly, all we need to see is structure, right? And what has price action been doing? Forming lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, characteristics of a bearish trend. Okay, now we did get a lower low over here, and we actually did get a lower low here, then a lower high below 0.68. So this was a pretty key zone that we just broke through. So we are looking more bullish on the daily here. We've yet to see a daily higher low. So we need to go to the 4-hour and kind of see what we can spot. But it is looking bullish on the 4-hour because we saw that we just broke above 0.685. We were able to see that all the way from the daily. So here's what's going on. Now, price action moved above. We are consolidating a little bit. It's still moving higher, but it's kind of choppy, right? It's not fluid, movement like over here. It's kind of just pushing higher. Now we're getting some chop. So this is good because we are kind of establishing price action above this zone. It's gaining like a, good footing here. So the most likely is that this is just going to keep going bullish, right? It's going to rocket into 0.7, hit resistance, and then we'll see some reactions. The highest probability scenario would be this one. Price action pulls back like it did a couple times here. We get a higher low and then something to enter on, right? Nice bullish setups after a pullback. That would be ideal. It does have to prove and pull back a little bit, about 75 pips. So it's got some room to fall before we can actually enter this. But keep in mind it could just continue to rally into 0.7. So we'll keep an eye on this, wait for this kind of to develop. I did grab this little bar pattern tool from a similar setup. So just to highlight this a little bit more, give you guys a visual, we'd like to see price action fall, kind of reject in this area, and then continue higher. Now, for us to look at this chart and say it's bearish on the 4-hour, price action really has to fall quite a bit. We could bounce off 0.65 all we want, but until it's broken, we're not bearish. So what would that look like, right? Price action falls. We see a new lower low somewhere in this area. It pulls back, rejects off 0.685, right? Some nice wicks, and then some nice bearish setup. So bearish variations, evening stars, engulfings, and so on. That would be enough to confirm a lower high, and then we'd be interested in potential short scenarios, targeting down towards major support levels and so on. But either way it goes, we do have to wait quite a bit. Again, this was like a 75 pip pullback, so that would be quite a while. And then this, of course, would take a little bit longer if it was to go bearish. So we'll wait on that. But it's looking pretty good. It just needs some time. So let's go to AJ. This one's not as clear. Honestly, I put this out as a neutral. I need to see more on this, but we're going to go through the same method. What is AJ looking like on the daily time frame? Okay, very bullish. Higher highs, higher lows, so on and so on. We are consolidating kind of near a major resistance level, 95. So it's kind of like throwing some chop. We're bouncing off this level quite a bit. And we have rejected a few times in the past already. So this is kind of already an area where we should be cautious. But we are technically bullish on the daily. So let's go to the 4-hour and then see what we can make of it. Okay, so we did see some chop. Here's all that consolidation, that ranging. It broke lower. It gave us this kind of like symmetrical triangle pattern, and then it broke higher. It didn't really clear 95, like it broke above, but it didn't confirm a higher low above. So this is more or less a fake out, not real, no structure above this zone. If anything, it's just a test. If you look to the left, this was something similar. It kind of came within this, zone here. So it's more or less just a test. Price action did push back below 95, and now we're rejecting once again. So we need to see more. There is a little bit of volume here. You can see the size of these candles are much larger than what we've been recently seeing. So we want to be patient. We don't want to, jump the gun, do anything reckless. We just want to wait for price action to develop. So ideally this, consolidates a little bit, gives us some sort of clear pattern plus rejection, and then we could consider potential shorts down towards, the next support level. But it's got to be clear, right? So maybe something like this where it pushed lower, big volume, pulled back, rejected pretty hard. That's what we need to kind of, see right now. Some nice bearish variations. I will throw the short position tool on this just to give you guys a visual, because it is a good distance away. So if you be patient, it'll pay off, right? If this does execute. Okay, and we're looking like about 60 pips. We're risking to get around 190, just over a 3-to-1 risk reward. Hey, that's a good trade. You risk 2%, you get 6 out of it. Not bad at all. Just got to be patient. So that's one scenario. For us to say this is bullish, we need to see what we didn't get over here, right? Which is a higher low, a confirmed higher low. So price action needs to push above, give us a high, give us a higher low, and then nice bullish setups off this level. We want 95 to kind of act as support. So we wouldn't mind some wicks, good rejection, nice bullish variations, like I said, and then we're in on that targeting higher. We would target like 96 and higher. We'd have to go back a little bit to find some targets, but it's going to take a little while for this to, play out. So yeah, these are the two scenarios that we'd like to see to get into some trades, right? Obviously, this could just do a few other things. It could just consolidate for a while, and then we'd have to look for breakouts and so on. But these are what we'd like to see, ideally, for us to entertain trade ideas. Okay, that's AJ. Let's move over to the next pair, which is UJ. This one's looking actually pretty good right now, but let's start on the daily. We'll get to that in a second. So this is a bullish chart, guys. If you don't know what a bullish chart looks like, this is one right here. Absolutely crazy. It's just super insane volume. I mean, if anyone who's trading the dollar knows this thing has just been, pumping higher and higher. And that's what we could see on the daily, right? We're moving through major resistance levels, establishing, some good structure above. We reached a higher high or a new high over here, just around 139.3, and now it's pulling back. We are still bullish until we break 134.5. We can see that very clearly. So let's go to the 4-hour and see what's going on this time frame. Okay, daily's bullish, 4 hours looking more bearish actually, right? So what happened, right? We were consolidating quite a bit once we broke above 134.5. Consolidation, finally broke, retested this range, gave us a higher low, perfect entry. That was just textbook break and retest, right? Pushed to a new high, came back down, gave us a higher low, and then failed to give us a new higher high. So it kind of like flopped from there. We ran out of steam. Price action started pushing down, right? We broke this higher low, retested just a little bit, and then tanked from there. So it's looking more bearish now on the 4-hour. And we can also see that we just entered or re-entered this range right over here, right? 136.5. We just popped below, which is what we want to see. You don't want to see a zone just break a little bit. Like that's a significant break, right? We really got below that zone, which is nice. So now it pulled back. Now we're retesting, and this is where we want to see, rejection, confirm this lower high. So nice bearish variations, evening star, which kind of looks like what's forming right now. We could be pretty close to an entry here. So let's zoom in a little bit more. Ooh, lagging a little bit. All right, there we go. It's getting choppy. What is happening? Hold on, let me turn my phone off Wi-Fi. What?
This is what we call the McDonald's Wi-Fi, guys.
Yeah, honestly.
This is looking pretty good. This is UJ.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice setup.
Yeah,
All right,
UJ's
let's
at a
see
major level right now.
And it's good to see because this thing's kind of been like the wild one lately. All right, how's this? No, this is still choppy. What's going on?
I mean, I personally never trade UJ because this thing's just shit pair for me always.
Yeah, it's definitely a patient one. Oh my God, this chart is still, it's like 2 seconds behind whatever I'm doing. All right, I'm just gonna zoom out and then try and talk through it. Oh, this is a mess. All right, so this trade's marked up. We're risking about 50, looking to get about 180, just over a 3.5 risk reward, which is pretty solid. I mean, this is a good amount of movement. Normally I don't like trading ranges, but I mean, this is a huge range here, tons of volume between zones. And I do actually have one rule when trading ranges. I'll always try to look for the first re-entry into a range. So see how we're doing it here. We're breaking back into the range, get the first lower high, and then enter on that. I don't typically like to continue trading ranges because eventually it's going to break. All right, so yeah, this is pretty good. Just over a 3-to-1, 3.5-to-1 could be good. So what has to happen for us to consider the opposite? We want to stay open-minded. We always want to see both possibilities in the market. So let's entertain that, right? What needs to happen for us to see UJ is more bullish? We need to see price action break back above 136.5, start giving us strong characteristics of a bullish trend. Higher highs, higher lows, and then nice bullish candles to then enter on. So this is where we would really like to see that form for us to even consider, long opportunities or back to, bullish trend here on the 4-hour. So that's UJ. And I'm hoping this clears up on this next chart. So laggy.
Yeah,
What is going on?
Your internet's a little busted.
Yeah, I don't know why. I got 5G.
My internet's rubbing off on you, bro.
Yeah, infected my computer. Oh no. Oh, this is a shame.
What are you trying to go on the weekly right now? Or
No,
no?
I'm trying to go to the daily. It's just
Oh, you
super.
literally just can't even do anything.
No, it's just I can't.
Oh, fuck.
Shit. Would you pull up Trading View and I'll just talk through it?
Yeah, you want, I can just hop on and like do mine. It's not even a big deal.
All right.
We could just do that. The
It's
Wi-Fi
just
fails us.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and fix it, and then maybe we can come back to it.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll hop on. So guys, I posted in the chat. We're doing a giveaway. So just post the session on YouTube. Show the people that you're on here. That's pretty much what it's for. So post this
Yeah.
on or post on Instagram, I mean, post on your IG, tag Forex League, tag the funded trader, let the people know. Here, I'm gonna share up and I'm gonna get into it. So gonna start off with DXY. Oh, is mine doing it as well?
Is it a Zoom thing? Uh-oh.
Yeah, see how my charts aren't loading?
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh,
Mm.
you know why?
Oh, a different account.
No,
Here,
it's
stop sharing for us
because
then.
yeah, it's because freaking I had to clear my cache and then it deleted all my passwords.
Oh, that's the worst with the Google accounts.
Dude, yeah, and then now when I sign in, you gotta do the freaking two-factor every freaking time.
What a mess.
Dude, it's so annoying. All right, let's see. And now I gotta make sure I sign in with the correct account.
Dude, I've actually gone through that loop. It's like a cycle if you mess it up.
Dude, this is such bullshit. Like, because I have fucking 10 different accounts. Now I gotta make sure I
Yeah.
sign in with the correct one.
Yeah, it's a big mess. I'll try and split it between browsers, but it's not even. Wait, why am I at the hell?
Bro, I had such good analysis on here too. I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys where you get logged out of trading view and it deletes all your analysis.
It's a trader's worst nightmare.
Dude, literally fucking, bro, we're gonna have to go through with these guys from like ground zero right now.
Well, you posted it. All right, did you post it or
No, I didn't post it.
Trading View? Oh, okay.
This motherfucker, dude, I
Jeez.
like literally most frustrating thing ever. Hold on, I'm gonna try to sign into one other account. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll just run it with you guys, like literally from the ground up. Let me
Could be a
see.
good experience for some of you guys. But yeah, that happened when I transitioned from the split charts because it saves split charts as like its own like layout. Do you remember that?
Dude, I remember when I first started trading and like your analysis gets deleted and you just like get so pissed. Yeah.
Yeah. You just want to like break down.
All right,
It's terrible.
it's not this. If that ever happened to you guys where literally you do all of your analysis, you fucking get logged out of trading viewer for whatever reason, you get out of your account and then you log back in and it's all deleted. That's like literally the worst thing in the world. Oh, bro, it's back.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I have
I'm
no
so
idea
closing
why. It's
browsers over
back.
here. Just needed a good old reboot.
Whoever was wishing for me, it worked. Let's see what's in the chat. G, it sucks. Left hand. What? This guy goes white. Behind G or marketing shit. Same network, different number. Oh, the numbers behind G are marketing strategy. Yeah, the best is that TikTok where it's like 2G, 3G, 5G, LT.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're like moving slow. I don't know if you guys ever seen that.
Yeah. I'm the guy in the back right now.
All right,
Oh, I'm getting the pinwheel. Oh
let's get
shit.
into yeah, you're the guy in the way back. Let's get into DXY first. So we always start off on this one just because we want to overall just know. Wait, can you see my screen or no?
Now we can. There we
Yeah,
go.
you can. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna start with DXY first. Always start with this one just because I want to know where the US dollar is, whether it's trending, what's the strength of it currently. Obviously, the dollar has been on this crazy bullish run for over a year now, up over 20%, while other kind of other pairs or other base currencies are really down like 20% pretty much. So the dollar's been on this crazy run. I do have this zone marked up here at about 110. And then I have this lower zone marked here about 105. So what I like to do for anyone that hasn't been on the call before is I like to do weekly zones. And I kind of just map out these liquidity areas where price has reacted to really dramatically, either showing a lot of rejection or a lot of support. And I like to base really off of all of my projections and my rejection zones based on these areas. So if we can look here, it looks like I have this even drawn even further back. My screen's probably pretty small, but the overall idea is looking at this resistance right here, price fell off obviously pretty dramatically from this level. And then if we zoom in a little bit more, we can clearly see this level acted as a level of support, have that little gap right there. But this level acted as support and pushed up. Over here, this acted as resistance and pushed down. We're actually back in that general area right now. We're seeing some rejection from this zone already. So price came up, didn't exactly reach into there, but we did get some rejection there. And then this lower zone, if we just zoom out, this one is based on support here, resistance here, support here, bunch of support there. And then if we just come over right here, we can see price actually just rejected here originally, then pushed through. So DXY is extremely bullish, right? DXY has been extremely bullish. Looking at price action now that we've gone over the zones and the trend, we do have this bearish engulfing candle. So although we are in a bullish trend, this is showing us that there is some rejection here. There are more sellers than buyers that have stepped in. If we do go to the lower time frame, to the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see there's some sort of reversal here, some sort of break of structure. We're in this uptrend, very clear uptrend, these minor little retracements, and then boom, this higher low came up here, and then it actually started to break down, and now we're starting to see these lower highs to the downside. So if we just take this off, for anyone that knows market structure, this is very, very clear uptrend, downtrend. So now we're shifting to the downside on the 4-hour time frame. So next target on this one is going to be down back in this 105 area. So with this in mind, I personally don't trade DXY myself, but I do like to use this when looking at all these other pairs. So let's go over to GJ and let's take a look. This was actually the analysis on GJ for last week. We had taken a buy on last week's call, ended up going up right around a 2-to-1 risk reward. And then this thing obviously came back to break even. Now the rules for the strategy that at least we use is we always move stops to break even at about 1-to-1. So this thing ended up going up 2-to-1. Didn't exactly, run ultimately to where our target was. So we probably would have got stopped at break even, unless we started moving stops. But I'm just going to take this off because obviously the market has now moved to the downside. This was the analysis last week, head and shoulders pattern, breakout. This was extremely risky just because we were in this resistance zone. So I'm just going to delete all of this and let's just start out fresh. Let's go up to the weekly. Why do I have this level marked here? And it's kind of funny how this is now pushing to the downside a bit because we are at major resistance right now. So looking at the weekly, just keeping things very clean, very straightforward. If we're going back, we could go all the way back to here. I don't like normally going back this far, but we can see we have a ton of resistance, support. If we zoom in here, support, resistance, support. And then here we have support, resistance, and these are just main rejections of this area. And then more previously, we have a huge rejection here, huge rejection here. So obviously, there's a lot of resistance going on at this level right now. Well, I'm just gonna give Nick, he just joined up. Get him unmuted again.
Dude, it was plugged in and it died on me. I don't know what's going on, but I'm good now.
Okay, you're good. So right now with GJ, as we're looking at this, what I like to do weekly time frame, looking at where we're at in regards to our levels. We can see here we're at a resistance level. We're showing a lot of consolidation in this area. You know, we had come to the upside, ton of wicks, rejection. Then we went to the downside, ton of wicks, rejection. We mentioned this last week on the call, if you guys were on here, that this was a failed Morningstar pattern right here. So we had the bearish candle, doji, bullish candle, didn't cover half of this previous candle. So it was a failed kind of reversal here. And then it ended up pushing down after that. So really, until we get above this area, we're not exactly looking for buys, even though the trend is very bullish, just because of how significant this level is for resistance, 165. So with that in mind, coming to the 4-hour time frame, how would I go about kind of playing this trade? And realistically, if I were to just keep things very, very simple, ideally what I would do is I would be looking, we're in an uptrend, we just broke into a downtrend, we're in the resistance zone. So this is just that key area where we're looking for reversal. And ultimately right now, we would just want to see some sort of variation right here. Again, this isn't exactly like an evening star here to the downside. This is about 28 pips. You know, this is about 43 pips. So this isn't exactly like, without going to the lower time frame, like a break of structure or anything like that. So really what we want to see here is some sort of rejection, maybe like a double top or something. And then we want to take the trade based on that. And then we want to hold this thing at least down to this level, down to lower levels. This is what the trade would look like. We'd enter in this area. We'd put stops either up here, or we could put them much closer. We could put them around 70 pips or so. Remember, this is a swing trading strategy. So the stops are going to be a little wider. And then this would be like target 1. This would be target 2 down here, 4-1. This would be target 3. I would really move up to the higher time frame at this point and just be like, all right, this is the next really important zone down here, 157, obviously a ways away. So we'd probably want to put targets a little bit closer. But this is my idea on GJ. So at this point, you know, we have transitioned from this uptrend into a downtrend. We're below resistance, which is what I like to see. This is counter trending the weekly. So the weekly obviously is bullish. So in that sense, it is a bit more risky, because normally I like to trade where I'm lined up weekly, 4-hour and a zone. That's kind of like really, really good confirmations for my strategy. And those trades normally play out pretty well. So this one's a bit more risky, but even though this is a decent trade idea, so if this does come back up, literally only has to come back up 40 pips and does another rejection, definitely a decent trade idea. So that's GJ. Let's go to GU next. This was the analysis pretty much from last week. So last week was the market opened like right here, the 17th. This is right when we were analyzing this, like right here. So anyone that was on the call last week, this is what we were going over. If we start off on the weekly, why were we kind of looking at that idea? I'm just going to delete this. We're pretty much looking at it like this. GU has never closed below this area. It had this huge dip down, but it literally has never closed below here. So we're basically in this highly liquid buying zone right here that buyers are sitting at, trying to grab value, trying to grab GU and take it back up. We just hit huge push to the downside. We have a ton of wicks coming in here. So we're starting to slow up and, you know, pretty much very overextended. And then coming to the 4-hour, I mean, we are just in a downtrend. So we were saying if price ends up breaking this trend line and breaks this support level, which is a pretty key area, then we would just be looking for the retest and then want to take this thing back up into the red zone. So as you can see here, we got the retest and now it's back up into the red zone. So what we want to do here is I don't want to take a trade right here, like a buy personally, because now we're in this highly liquid red area. I would want to see a break above here before doing anything else. So if you guys were trying to ride GU to the upside at this point, it would look to be a bit risky in my opinion, just because this is a key resistance level, 121 area. So I'd more want to look for like an actual break and retest to confirm this thing is going to continue to go to the upside. And then I'd use my red zones to try to target things. This thing's obviously a ways away, but we could use this one kind of as our first area. And I'd put stops here. This is just my forecasted idea. Like right now in GU, don't see any opportunity to take a buy like right now. I think it'd be a bit more risky. This could just reject the red zone a lot. And ideally, this is actually what we see is something like this. It comes up and then it starts to actually do like one of these. So it starts to form some sort of pattern, and then it breaks out of the pattern, and starts to move to the upside. So getting it in the red area is definitely going to be the best kind of place to trade. So unlike last week, GU don't have any definitive trades right now. Could certainly just pull one of these, hit the red zone, start to consolidate, and then just push to the downside. Considering like this bullish momentum and DXY showing us that it's most likely going to push down more, I am assuming that GU is going to move with DXY and the US dollar is going to continue to lose some strength here, and this thing's going to pop up to the upside. So that's my analysis on GU. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. Coming into UCAD, this was the analysis from last week. So if we go back to the 17th here, very interesting how this played out. So if we just go back here, this is what basically we were looking at. I'm just going to come up to the weekly first, just so you guys get an idea of overall where we're at. So UCAD is in this channel, pushing to the upside. We have our red zone marked right here. This is just based on support, resistance, 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 resistance. Then it broke above. And pretty much going into last week, we had this huge wick to the upside here. So a lot of resistance coming in, but we were above the support level, which is why we were a bit weary on whether to sell or to buy on this one. So coming down to the 4-hour, again, this is exactly where we're at. Huge impulse move to the upside. We had this demand zone marked right here. We were above support. So I was looking for price to consolidate right here. We got this nice rejection, bullish candle, but looking for a bit more consolidation. As you can see, I had marked here, looking for this to consolidate a bit more in the demand zone, considering how much this is moving to the downside with like a lot of volatility. And then ultimately you could see we push down. So this breaks out of the demand zone. At this point, this trade actually becomes invalid. So then we could just take all this away. And then as you can see here, we have this push, below here. We could have entered somewhere in here. Now, this isn't the most perfect trade in the world. We had a little bit of rejection here. Say we entered in this area, right here. Say we put stops above the red zone. A lot of drawdown. Like this thing went into a lot of drawdown. Now we just pushed kind of back into profit right now. What I would be looking for, this is kind of like target one. I would actually be going like this. And at this point now, we're really targeting the bottom of this channel. So we're really targeting like all the way down here. Obviously, huge move. We'd have to have a ton of patience for this thing to play out. And as you can see, this is what we forecasted. Resistance. Now we're waiting for this to push lower, which is starting to push. I would only re-enter if we get some sort of retest right here, or it pushes lower and then we get a retest of this level right now. So at this point, if you guys did want to enter right now, let me explain to you why that's not the best position in the world. You'd have to throw stops kind of back above this red zone. 110 pips would have to be your stop loss. And then you'd have to target down here, which would still be a 2.4 risk reward. This is 5.3. So the risk reward becomes much worse if you're entering this late. That's why ideally you wait for some sort of break and retest to kind of enter it on this. But I'll leave this here. I'll leave stops up here, and we'll kind of track this next week and see how this plays out. So this is UCAD. Let's go over to NZD USD. And just to reiterate with UCAD, like going with DXY looks like it's going to be bearish. So that would be more of a reason for us to be bearish on UCAD as well, if the dollar is going to be that weak this week. So looking at NU, this thing actually played out really good last week. So going into the week, this is where we were at. Right here is when we did the call last week. And let's just come up to the weekly just so we can see where we're at. So weekly time frame, we were coming down into this level. Obviously, we're in a downtrend. We're at support right here. But look at these candlesticks. We had the wick, starts slowing up, this kind of doji candle. Then we had this like inverted kind of hammer candle right here. And so all this is showing us is just signs of the market slowing up right here, telling me we're coming to a halt at the support level. So coming to the 4 hour, you can clearly see we're in a downtrend, and we went over this last week. So we were in a downtrend, and all we need to see from here is just a break from the trend line to the upside and start to see some market structure, which we started to see right at the beginning of last week, more volatility. But the same way I just talked about on GU is, since we're below resistance, I don't want to take a buy until we get above the resistance level. So as you can see, boom, pop above resistance. Now we can either put a buy limit here, wait for price to come into this area and retest, to take a buy. And then ultimately it came down, grabbed liquidity back in the red zone, pushed up, hit the target. So this was a decent trade idea. If you guys did put limit orders in this area, didn't exactly tap it perfectly, but the overall sentiment was there. And as you can see, we had two ideas here. Either this thing was going to consolidate and then break to the downside, or it was going to push and then start to pinball in between this level. So I'm going to take this off and let's go over this week. What is kind of the idea, seeing how this played out. We always want to come back up to the weekly time frame, so we make sure we're not, trading against the overall trend. And the overall trend is very, very bearish, guys. Looking at this right now, we can see price is clearly forming these lower lows and lower highs, and we're actually back at a resistance level right now. So this thing just broke support. Now we're retesting this as resistance, and I have that marked in red. So honestly, this would be a great move. We're starting to see a double top, or we just saw a double top right here. This would be a great trade if we could potentially get some sort of break of this area right here. So to say this thing pushes down, we get some sort of little retest. This is definitely the trade idea to take, considering the weekly is at it's at a resistance zone. So imagine if this rejects and starts to push to new lows right here. And I actually like this idea just because it is a bit different than the other two, in the sense that this is actually looking for the dollar to gain strength against the New Zealand dollar. It's a bit different than our other two ideas. I always like having some diversity, in my analysis. In the event that these don't play out, then this one would most likely start to play out, meaning the dollar is gaining, more strength in these other two than in these other two pairs. So this is the trade idea. Waiting for the break of support. Now, to the upside, say this thing starts to get bullish and starts to move to the upside. Personally, I would not take a buy unless it comes above this area. And then this would be the trade. So we'd be looking to see something like this. So patience is key, guys. I'm obviously being extremely patient with these. I could take a buy right now, saying that, oh, it's at a potential high or low area, put it behind the red, and then take profit here, take profit 2 up here. But to me, it's just not the most high probability trade in the world right now. We're waiting until we get to the red area. This is always where I'm trying to take entries, either this area or this area. It will literally just make you guys more profitable. It'll make your setups more accurate if you just wait until the right zones to actually take your trades at. So I'm going to leave these on, and then we'll see NZD USD next week. So we've gone through 4 pairs. Normally I have at least one signal. So we'll see with NAS 100, if we get anything in here. So last week we started right in this area. This is when we were actually on the call right here, going into last week. And this one didn't really have anything crazy on this one, honestly, with NAS 100. Overall, we're definitely in a downtrend, as most of you guys know, and now we're starting to bottom out near this level. So we're starting to bottom out here, had this bullish engulfing, followed it up with another bullish engulfing, and we had this like bullish reversal type candle above this support zone, and now we obviously have some bullish candles. So I'm looking for this thing to come up into this 129 area before seeing another kind of reversal. So with that in mind, coming down to the 4 hour, last week we were basically saying unless we broke resistance and there was some sort of retest, we wouldn't take an entry. So as you can see, this thing breaks above, but it never actually retested. So at this
Ooh,
point, we're not actually looking to take buys on this.
damn, that was close. How far away was that from that
Yeah,
retest?
yeah. I mean, it was close. I mean,
A little
it
more
never actually
effort.
it never actually retested support. I mean, it kind of retested this area, but that was
Yeah,
back here.
something a little more dramatic would have been nice. Yeah, that would have been perfect. Break and retest, absolutely textbook.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to look at this zone, this more immediate zone more than like going back in this area because we are on the 4 hour time frame. So I don't like
Right.
to, look back too far, but yeah, this didn't, hit the zone. And then now we're in no man's land right now, right? We're in the middle of kind of these two key areas. So just like, we talked about in the previous pairs is I'm not gonna force a trade here. I could go down to the 30-minute, scalp this thing down into the support, and then take it to the upside if I'm really trying to go crazy. But yeah, I saw somebody post, short on Nas 100. I mean, if you're trying to trade this on the lower time frames, it obviously was in a bit of an uptrend on the lower time frame. Boom, boom, right here, and then you had the flip. So at this point now, you'd want to take a short, in this area, and then take it to the downside. And that's the good thing about kind of the strategy that we use if we did want to go down to the lower time frame and just kind of map all this out. Market structure like literally just applies on every single time frame. So you're not trying to do anything crazy. So this would pretty much be the move. You would just like set a sell limit here, and then you would target pretty much this support level, which you're then looking for reversals to the upside. And you could be very conservative, put it up here, or you could be a bit more aggressive, put it right here, because you do have this big ass resistance zone right here. So you always want to put the stops above some sort of resistance. So yeah, this is kind of the trade idea, Nas 100, taking this thing to the downside. Yeah, getting back into some sort of support level. You're saying that even down to the 15-minute. I mean, yeah, 15-minute, 30-minute, same deal. I mean, it's just breaking into a downtrend. So this would be the trade idea for the week. If you want to put a sell limit on Nas 100 here, I'd personally be more than comfortable taking the trade, putting stops in either this area, or if you want to be more conservative up here, and then just riding it down into 121. So there's a lot of momentum right now on Nas 100 going to the downside. So if you guys are interested, keep an eye out for that one. Set your limits on that. Let's see. Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of
that
news coming out this week too.
yeah, there is. But that's kind of the beauty of this strategy too, is the concepts are universal through the time frames. If you guys want to adjust our strategy to more of a day trading, fast-paced stuff, you could focus on the lower time frames with the same, information, looking for the same things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm at the gym today and they're literally like interest rates and other shit coming out. Like, you know what I'm
Letting everybody
saying?
know.
Yeah, there's so much fucking news going on this week. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of volatility in Nas 100 this week, for sure. So guys, keep an eye out for that. And then last but not least, the beauty, the beast, Mr. Senor BTC. In my opinion, guys, expect more downwards movement. It's almost like in an uptrend. Be very optimistic. This thing's gonna keep moving, whatever, until it reaches a point, crazy point. I mean, we're definitely at a crazy price. Don't get me wrong, 20K, but for BTC, not sure if this is crazy enough to steer everyone away yet. This thing might end up moving down into this 12 area. And the key here, guys, is just to stay ready, to stay available, have capital to keep scaling in, dollar cost averaging. The lower it goes, the less capital you need when it comes to BTC. You don't need to go crazy with this. So definitely dollar cost average into the bottom in here. And literally, I mean, 3,500. It's a reality that BTC could hit 3,500.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just look how far we've dropped already, What's another, 15, 16,000? It's nuts. It's pretty nuts to see, but this thing's fallen
I
pretty
mean, yeah,
hard.
look at every other crash. This thing's currently down 70%. Every other crash has come down around 80.
I find just right around 1250.
Yeah, right
Wow.
around 1250. So be prepared for it to come down to 1250. Don't be like, oh my God, this is it.
Yeah.
It's
This is
going
where
up.
opportunity is. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. Don't, oh my God, I broke the 4 hour. I see analysts on Instagram.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh my God, BTC, Ethereum. Ethereum's leading the way.
I like the guys that report, oh, BTC's up 10%. This could be it. Like,
Yeah, they're like,
come
this
on.
is it. I mean, granted, this is a huge move. I mean, it's like a 50% move.
Yeah, I know, right? It's pretty nuts.
Bro, literally crazy, crazy
But
move.
that's
But
but that's why we always say the upside potential in crypto is huge, you know?
dollar
It-
cost
it-
average, guys, look at 25,000 to 157,000. Delete some of the zeros here, right? Put in fucking 250 bucks. What would
right.
that equal? 1,570.
On BTC or on Ethereum.
This is
Yeah.
on
That's
Ethereum. Yeah. Put
yeah.
in 2,500 bucks. It's gonna equal fucking 15,750,
It's not a
right?
bad investment right
These
there.
are just, this is the lottery. This is the modern day lottery. You put in what, I mean, obviously do some research, if you guys like the project a little bit, but in my opinion, I'm not gonna be out here like crypto this, crypto that. Crypto is the fucking modern day lottery out here.
Yep.
Be
It's
conservative, don't put all your money into this and fucking dollar cost average into it.
right.
And you guys can definitely take advantage of some serious opportunity because overall I am a speculator, I am bullish on crypto for the future. Do believe in it, whatever it really is. So yeah.
Me too, though. I'm right there with you. Definitely a
Yeah,
big believer in the
yeah.
future of crypto.
Why not? I mean, fuck it.
Right. I mean, I consider this like, every generation has like something that's like big that's happening, right? So like, the older generations had like the rise of the internet. This is like comparable or comparable to that, right? This is our rise of something that's going to present a lot of opportunity for us. So crypto, definitely a fan, definitely in support of crypto.
Yeah, same here. So guys, last chance, post on your stories for the giveaway. We pretty much went through all the analysis for the week. I'm gonna put out this Nas 100 trade just as a signal in the chat, looking for a sell limit around 23.45. We'll see next week. We'll be on next week for the Sunday market blitz. See how this plays out. See if I get burned or if it goes in our direction. And we live to see another day, and that's what trading's all
Yeah,
about. Yeah,
absolutely.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
guys, another week. It's looking good though. We got some good setups, whichever way we see price action develop.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so if you guys want to check some of the analysis, this will be posted. This will be posted on YouTube. Analysis is posted in the Discord and Telly for Forex League TFT people. Good luck with the challenges this week. Wish you guys, all the best and anything. If you guys need anything, hit me up through Discord. Reach out to us. Discord is the best place to get in touch with us.
Yeah, the social platforms definitely not. Go to Discord. Discord's the way.
Yeah, social platforms are out at this point. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So enjoy the week, guys, and we'll catch you all in next week's session.
All right. Take care, guys. Peace.